everybody, this is the Horror Sickness and I'm back with a really long overdue update. Got a bunch of stuff to show, a big pile of stuff here. Got a couple of other bits to the side and a couple of bits over here. So I've got quite a lot to get through, so I won't ramble on too long. We've got some really cool stuff, got plenty of DVDs, got a VHS, which is very rare for me, as I don't even collect them. Got a Steelbook, got a book, BluRay, a really good special edition and a really cool box set that I really want to talk about. So I've got, as I say, quite a lot to get through. First things first though, if you can just see behind me on the computer, on the laptop. This is one of the reasons that I've been away for a little while. I've just come back from, unfortunately, a funeral for my great-grandmother who passed away last week. Pretty tough to take. She was 99 years old. And she would have turned 100 in 3 years. She was actually born the year the Titanic sank. She had a fantastic life, and although it's got nothing to do with my channel or with what we're doing, that's kind of what's happening with me at the moment. That's been a big deal for me, obviously. So she's going to be in the background just looking over my shoulder while I do this. So it's still a bit raw, still a bit fresh, so obviously I'm upset about it, but I'm also just at that point where I want to celebrate her and, you know, enjoy the fact that she managed to live so long. But we are going to have to crack on. Hopefully you'll stick with me. As I say, it's going to be quite a long video because it is a big update, because I've not done one for a while. And the first thing we're going to get into is this pile of DVDs here, and the first couple are actually non-horror, so we'll get them out of the way first. And first up is Mallrats, obviously from director Kevin Smith. I don't know, I've been listening. There is Jay and Silent Bob, the characters that Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes play. They do a podcast which I listen to, which basically talks about Jason Mewes, his history and his drug use. He's been clean now for a couple of years, and I just find it really interesting. His story is incredible, and it kind of gives a new look to the films, a new feel about it because of the things that he was going through while these things were being filmed. So pick that up. I've got Clerks and Clerks 2 and a few others as well, but that was a recent pickup. Next up, and the second and last of the non-horror, is Cachenne. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. This is a 2D special edition. I actually picked this up for, I think it was 50p. Oh no, sorry, I tell a lie, this was a penny buy. There's going to be plenty of them. Penny buy off of Amazon, and not got around to watching it yet. Looks pretty cool. I say non-horror, sci-fi, but really like the cover, and the back looks actually really cool, the way that it's kind of side on. But yeah, anybody knows, please leave a comment if you like the film, if you don't like the film. Next up, little section, is 3 films that I picked up. I'm trying to get into and collect all of the Tartan Asia Extreme titles, and I'm starting to realise that there is a lot more than I thought. Some of them as well are non-horror. The 3 that I've got here are horror, and I do have some more. I think I'm up to about 10 or 12, maybe a few more than that. But there's some non-horror stuff, but I'd really like to collect everyone that's been released. So if, again, another question down in the comments if you'd like to let me know. Any particular that I should be looking at of the Tartan Asian Extreme, you know, any that you particularly like. But we need to get on. So first up is The Happiness of the Katakuris. Basically says the sound of music meets Dawn of the Dead, and obviously the cover there has been ripped off from The Sound of Music directly. Get some really good reviews and ratings and star ratings from, you know, Empire and Total Film, and from reviews I've seen online have been pretty good. I'm a big fan of Takeshi Miike anyway, so I was going to buy it come what may, but that's The Happiness of the Katakuris. Next up, it's a classic, and I've not sat and watched it for a long time, and that's Tartan Asia Extreme's release of The Ring. Or Ring, sorry. You all know it, so no need to worry about that. Last of these ones is one that I've not seen, one that I've not really heard of either. It's called R Point, and this seems to be kind of a horror come army come, so it's Korean soldiers being haunted by these transmissions, and I don't really know. It says it seems to have a kind of a theme through the Tartan Asia Extreme where they compare things, and this is Blair Witch meets Full Metal Jacket, which, you know, really means nothing, but we shall see. I'll give it a watch. Right, now into just some more normal horror titles, generic horror titles. First up, one that I've been meaning to pick up for a little while, not seen it for a long time, is Cherry Falls. Again, nothing special, nothing that nobody's going to know, but wanted to pick that up. From what I can remember, I quite enjoyed it. One that I didn't really enjoy, I've only been about halfway through, and it's All the Boys Love Mandy Lane. I actually watched half of this at work and just didn't get into it. I'm going to give it another go. I've only watched half, but it didn't really grab me. But I've heard a few people say they like it, some people don't. But I'll be surprised if it's for me, to be honest, but I'll give it another go. The next three, a little bit different, a bit cheese. I am part of a group on Facebook that a lot of people on here, maybe that you're watching the video, you're part of as well, just looking at really cheesy films, and a couple of these came up. I actually bought this, I think Tattooed Doorman talked about it, and he said he really enjoyed it, and it's Orcs. Not got around to watching it yet. I actually put it in and I watched the first 2 or 3 minutes, and somebody came and I had to give up on trying to watch it, but I will get around to watching it soon. It's just going to be daft cheese by the looks of it, but should be fun. Penny buy off Amazon, which you all know Tattooed Doorman loves them. Another penny buy off Amazon actually came in a busted up case, so I've replaced it and put it in this kind of clear case, and it's skinned alive. Heard a couple of people talking about it. Again, low budget cheese, I think, but give it a go, see what it's like. This one I want to talk real quick about. As I say, I'm going to kind of have to ramble through these, but this one I really enjoyed. I've got around to watching this, and it's Deadheads. Low budget zombie film, and the premise behind them becoming zombies I won't go into, because it's a little bit different, but basically follows these two guys. One of them is trying to get back to his ex-girlfriend and explain where he's been and tell her that he loves her and all this, and maybe even try to get back together. And it becomes kind of a road journey movie. It has its faults, don't get me wrong. Some of the acting is not the best. The special effects are okay, they're not too bad. But yeah, I liked it. It has charm. It's one of these things that, you know, bad movies can be good. It's not a bad movie. It's an average movie, but there's something about it. It's just got real charm for me. So it's never going to be a classic. It's never going to be earning millions, but I like it. Nice bit of charming zombie. So give it a watch, give it a try, see what you think. I know that Luke Mayasimu agreed. He seemed to really like it. So yeah. Another one, this is an interesting one. I mentioned this to someone the other day, and they actually thought I was talking about a remake of the Russian film, but it's not. It's got nothing to do with it. It's called Night Watch, and it doesn't seem to get talked about. I watched it again the other night, and I really enjoy it. It's one that I watched years and years and years ago, and it stars Ewan McGregor and Josh Brolin, Patricia Arquette, Nick Nolte, and it's Night Watch. Basically, Ewan McGregor plays a guy that's at university, and as most uni students, needs to make some money. Thinks he's found an easy way of doing that at the local morgue as a night watchman. Basically sitting there all night long and getting a bit of money to get himself through uni. There is a morgue, obviously, as I say, and he has to go around once an hour and make sure that he clocks in his key and shows that he's been to all these places. And one of these keys is in the morgue where all the bodies are laid out. And in time things start to happen. His friend Josh Brolin plays a really good part. I do like it. They start kind of daring each other to do certain things, and Brolin seems to start losing it a little bit, and it's trying to figure out who the killer is. The surprise, I will admit, you will get it before the end. You'll probably work out who the killer's going to be, but again, it's nice and charming. Ewan McGregor's decent enough in it. I like Nick Nolte. Josh Brolin's probably the standout performance in it, but definitely worth a watch if you can pick it up cheap. Give it a try. Need to crack on. Next little section up, I need to address you again. This is another question, so please, if you have the time, leave some comments. And actually for this section, if you'd like, please leave a video response. My wife hates horror. She will not watch it. She can't watch it. She gets scared looking at the covers. So what I'd like to do, and what I've started thinking of doing, is pick up something in between. And I thought, well, what better than taking what she likes and what I like and trying to find a middle ground. And the middle ground seems to be animated horror. She loves our animated films, Pixar, Disney, anything that's animated. And I love my horror, so we're trying to find animated horror films. I've got a little selection that I picked up recently, probably some more obvious ones. And I'm trying to find a way of having a section for her within my collection as well. So what I'd like people to do is, if it can be a comment, please do that, and leave some suggestions of some kind of animated horror films, scary animation films, anime especially. If you're into anime and you'd like to suggest some kind of horror anime for beginners, because I don't really know that much about it, please do. But yeah, let's start on the look. First one I picked up is 9. Post-apocalyptic. I still haven't watched this, and we haven't sat down to watch this yet. Whether it's strictly horror, probably not, but it comes in that kind of theme, I suppose, so pick that up for us, for both of us. Next up, and this is the 2-disc collector's edition of Coraline, with this funky cover. The word escapes me, I can't remember what it's called. Lenticular sleeve. And again, one that we've not got around to watching yet, but we picked this up. It was actually a penny buy for the 2-disc collectors. Really happy about that. The next one, we watched this the other night and absolutely loved it, so really happy that we're thinking about doing the animated horror thing. This is really cool. And this was Monster House, and it comes in this slip cover that opens up. It has a wheel that kind of changes the picture on the front, and really nice edition. Again, a penny buy off Amazon. You can pick up some bargains. But really enjoyed that one. Next up, and again I'm going to mention him, Tattoo Doorman mentioned this months ago, and I kept meaning to pick it up, and he says it's absolutely fantastic, so I did. Not watched it yet, again, haven't had the time, just due to recent events, but this is Igor. The premise of this sounds really good. A mad scientist apprentice, obviously named Igor, gets ideas above his station and starts thinking that he can come up with an invention, and nobody else around him likes it, as far as I can tell. As I say, I haven't watched it, so it may not be that, but that seems like what the synopsis, the premise of the film is. On this same kind of vein, probably not something that's for my wife, maybe more for me, but still the animated horror thing, I finally picked up Fears of the Dark. I always thought that Guillermo del Toro had more of an input in this, but that's basically a quote from him. It's got really nothing to do with him, as far as I can tell. It's just that he has been plastered all over the cover and the back with quotes saying how much he liked it. But then again, I'm about halfway through this, and I'm really enjoying it actually. I think it's really cool. The animation's brilliant, really different. One of the stories in particular about a young kid who collects bugs and stuff, loses one of them in his bedroom as a kid, and then years later goes to uni and things get a bit messed up. Really cool little story. But it's like a little animated anthology from all these different directors. Definitely worth a look if you haven't. That's it for the DVDs. What should we do next? Let's have a quick look. There's something I got ages and ages ago. My wife picked it up for me. I just never got around to showing it. I think it's really cool, and it's Alien vs Predator. I think she picked it up for like £1 in a charity shop. And it just shows, it goes through all the effects. It's a really big book, some really cool pictures in there. Goes through how they created the creatures, how they made the effects and everything else. Just some really nice images. And yeah, I just wanted to give credit to my wife for picking that up. It's a nice little piece. Next up, the VHS. I do not collect VHS. So again, another question. If anybody is into collecting VHS, please let me know if this is any good. I just love the cover. It's the reason I picked it. I've got 2 VHS. I've got an Evil Dead and now this. And this is for A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2, Freddy's Revenge. And it just, the cover art is why I picked it up. I'll probably never watch it. And I'm sure it's a reissue. It's obviously the UK, printed in the UK with, unfortunately, the 18 there and everything else, so it's not pre-cert or whatever, you know, collectors look for. It probably is worth the 25 pence I paid for it, but I just like the cover art. It's, you know, and as a VHS, because it's a box, it sits there quite well and looks pretty nice. And the back looks pretty cool as well. If you know anything about this particular release or anything, let me know if it's any good. Really cracking on now, because this video is going to last too long, I think. Next up, we're going to take a look at the BluRay Steelbook. This is one that I picked up. It's the Player.com exclusive of an American Werewolf in London, and it's the one that's kind of side on with the two pieces of artwork that are side on. Looks really, really nice. Really nice feel to it. Single disc, but it does come with plenty of extras. I'll put a little description below. I'll write a little bit more about it in the description box. Don't really have time to go through it. I've kept the slip on the back as well. There's a documentary in there, some featurettes, behind the scenes, an interview with John Landis, makeup artist Rich Baker talking about things, casting, outtakes, storyboards. Just plenty of stuff to get stuck into, and seeing it in high def is going to be fantastic. Can't wait to give it a watch. Next up, this is the beginning of a package that I'm sending out to somebody. I'm not going to say who it is, although you might have a guess. I have mentioned it to them. I'm really working on it. I'm trying to get something together, and it should be with both of you very soon. That's a clue. But please bear with me. Next up, before I get this last two pieces, so second to last is this one. I actually thought I'd shown it, and it's the Itchy the Killer blood bag I finally picked up. So I've now got an uncut copy of Itchy the Killer. Yeah, I've had it for a little while. This thing that it's on is a banana stand that was in the kitchen. We weren't using it, and I just thought it looked like a nice way to display it. The only thing that all the blood is pulling up, but it does go back, it's fine. It's not really damaging it in any way. But yeah, just really, really chuffed to have that, and it looks really, really nice on display. Just put that back here and knock off my Terminator Salvation's 3D glasses at the same time. Next up is this. This is the main thing that I want to show. This was an absolute bargain, and I'm so happy to have picked it up, and it's this. This is the special edition complete box set, seasons 1 to 9 of the XFiles, and I picked this up from a shop here in the UK, a store in the UK called CEX, and it was on the shelf at the back behind the counter, and it was there at 50 quid. Now, I knew from what I'd seen on Amazon, there's like a black box set of this, just a kind of standard looking one, which goes for anything around £90 used, so I kind of knew I'd picked up a bargain. When I came away, the cheapest on Amazon UK that I saw at the time, new, was £220. Used was down at around £100 I think, but not in the best condition. This is as new. I've been through every box inside. Just open it up. Number one is actually in the other room because I've been starting to watch it. But I've been through every one. Every disc looks like it's not being watched. The booklets are all in mint. They smell new. They smell like they haven't been opened. So an absolute bargain. Really, really love this piece. And yeah, hopefully what I'll do, I think I will leave it there because this video has just gone on for way too long. If you're still sticking around, thank you very much. But that's everything that I've got to show you. I'll probably show this a bit more in depth. I might do a separate video for it rather than just, you know, rush through it really quick because some things I want to say about this. But yeah, just as a bit of a recap, please, if you have any advice on animated horror, things that my wife and myself can enjoy and kind of merge the two, please let me know. If you'd really like to do a video response, that'd be really cool. If you have this kind of section in your collection, do a video response, show what you've got, that'd be absolutely brilliant. Please attach it to this video, but comments and some advice would be absolutely brilliant. I think that's about it. God bless to my nan, may she rest in peace. Love you, nan. But yeah, as I say, big update. Thank you very much for sticking with me. I know I've rambled on quite a bit, but really appreciate it. That's it. Thank you very much for watching. This has been The Horror Sickness. Oh, last thing, please, I'll leave the link below as well. Go check out The Horror Sickness on Facebook, which I'm using more and more. It's been really cool. Oh yeah, the Tartan Asia Extreme as well. If you've got any particular ones that you think I should check out, please let me know about that. That's it, that's been enough. Thank you very much for watching. Take it easy, everybody.